Hey guys, Tin Man here. At my camp. I'm just gonna take a few different options of looking, which ways to look. And you can maybe hear barking in the background there already. Couple going now. And yeah, I'm gonna walk down to the front of the property here. And I'm gonna show actual work that these guys are doing here on pretty much a nightly basis. Sometimes I even see little tidbits of information of interaction with the area, surroundings, grounds, however you want to say it, during daytime also. So it's not necessarily always something that just happens at night, especially in these regions here. So I'm just swinging around to the front. This is my view of from here through here is where my eyes kind of sit the whole time. Then it comes to the road here, and you can see nobody to bother me for a long ways here. And then this is also where my eyes get to sit. Whoops. We'll be going a little too fast for night moving. Cameras can get a little, sensitive to the dusk. But now we get to see what I like about this. So I'm going to try to do it like this. See, we get to see that ridge there of the mountain going all the way up now. See, we get to see all the way through pretty much this little mountain. And then it comes down on this side. And I love that for a couple of different reasons. One of the reasons is because we really get to understand by looking here at those trees up above being pruned and thinned out. Maybe some of them aren't, but we really get to see it in that group there. And we got these consistent video clips going on of this area. There's another bark there. And yeah, so we get to, study it and understand it, because it's not a normal thing. People know it's not normal for your evergreens to really heavily thin out. Okay, so we're gonna meet back down there. So now we're looking back towards my camp. I don't know if there's somebody living back in here, but I'm hearing rap music. That's really trippy. Well, that's a first. Anyways, so we're back to just thinking here. And we gotta get to my spot before the sun gets down too low so we can see what we're talking about. We'll come back to this one. So I can see in there pretty good now. So this will be getting more interesting through this times of the year for visual effects. this isn't why we came here. We're still looking further along here for some other proof I want you guys to understand. So let's keep going. Okay guys, you can see my bit of a world view from here, right? Well, this is the construction site of new residential. I just wanted to point something out, that it sure is looking like the guys are going to a big effort to keep just pedestrians from walking through, like, or something. But it is what it is. Maybe that's how they balanced it out. But my thought is, I wonder if already they're seeing a tomfoolery that they're blaming on people. So anyways, I could get into ground things, so on and so forth, but I don't want to. But I'm seeing lots of detail on the ground, and the part of the thing is they haven't been here for a couple of days. Oh, look at this, a bear. See, that's a little bit of showing like there's acting like bear has been around here, and that's not legit bear. But anyway, so what I wanted to show you is, so we got all this construction of the new road coming up here, right? See the bank sloughing off? You don't get to see much of it on this little side, and look at right there too. Such sloughable stuff. Okay? But on this side where it's construction all the time, you get to see a lot more of it. When I drive up that road right here, because that's the way I have to access into here now, as you can tell, these guys have been along here, and they do all this sloughing. See, look at even like water and water patterns and such. This is one of the things why I talk about that. So then this here looks like this great big chunk. Well, yeah, that is the better one, isn't it? Given the bigger picture, right? Whoops. Yeah. So right here, it looks like they got a big slough of it coming down, probably from excavating under like that. Like, that's a big amount of material. And is this a big deal? Well, it's a bit of a pain in the ass for the construction guys, because a couple of mornings, or one of the mornings anyways, I seen them walking along and kind of inspecting on this and talking about it, because they've supposedly compacted all this to a certain compaction. Now we come here, and how they've tamped that all out and stuff, the water's not just flowing off of it easily. See how that's all tamped? The sides and everything? That's part of water, keeping the water off of it for now, not letting it soak up. If they just leave it like a big pile, then water gets into it very easily. So when you compact it and you keep compacting it all the way up, it's a water repellent in some ways of the game. So when the engineers are getting ready to troublemakers. That could be something else, but they're frickin' troublemakers. Anyways, the road coming up here. Yeah, the guy's getting ready to sign off and say, go ahead and asphalt it. But he'll be having his worries about this. And that's a pain for these guys. So they deal with it however they deal with it. But even you see all this stuff scattered up. Right? Sometimes you might even notice something been done very neatly in a way. You know, somebody else has come along and tamped it all out and made it look, you know, like a certain detail or something. So you see little sloughs of it around there. And yeah, I know it doesn't seem like a big deal. But what it helps do is it helps get you guys to a full understanding of what these guys are about. And when you get the full understanding that there's a lot of them, and they're all over the place, then, and they're doing these kind of things, then it gives you understanding in a way why they're here. You know, or, you know, why in part they're here is they have something to do with the earth. And that part of dealing with the earth is pretty, it's just work with earth. You know, I kind of say they have an attitude kind of like an ant, where they're just going and going and going. So all in these little plots of, like even that, see that, whoops, see if we can get it this way. No, you're not going to be able to see it. Oh. And then we got here. Beautiful, eh? Can't argue about the beauty of it. I try changing the light, okay? Oh, it's on full bright, I guess. Might have heard a peep out there a moment back. I just wanted to kind of re-get into there a bit too. Getting a bit of barking going on and stuff around. Pretty much coming to the end, guys, so peace out. Don't forget to share, sub.